Let's build the ultimate Steam Deck. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Deck Ready. I'm back where it all started in the studio with this table that if I put any weight on it, it will break in half. But there's a good reason for it, and that is I have two packages that just showed up in the mail. One of them has Dbrand's new revised kill switch that will not magnetize the fan in your launch model Steam Deck. And then this is the JSOX Elite Accessories modular case. They don't really have a good naming system for it, but essentially these are two competing products. So for today's video, I figured I'd go through all the accessories that you get with each one, let you know how much each one costs, and kind of give you my thoughts on which one is worth picking up, if at all. But if you like one of these more than the other, that's totally fine, and I will have them both linked down in the description. So we're gonna start out with the JSOX unit, and I'm calling it JSOX. I know some people say JSO. I don't really understand how to say JSAUX, so we're going JSOX. This is technically called the Modcase for Steam Deck PC 104 or 0104, and there are plenty of different versions of this accessory kit you can get. So the basic kit for $29.99 will get you this case, which gives you the back bracket attachment for all of the other accessories, and also a metal bracelet that snaps onto the case. Then for $49.99, you have the cooler kit, which comes with the case, and then this little cooler that snaps onto the case in a modular way. But I took off this little sticky thing. You can kind of see it hopefully on the C angle here, the overhead angle. This is sticky, so I don't know if it sticks onto the actual case or if it really snaps on or off. We will have to investigate when we dig into this whole package here. Then for $80, $79.99, you can get the hub kit, which honestly, this hub, this little USB-C hub, which is really just like a portable Steam Deck dock, on its own is actually incredible. I've been using the same HailCorporate USB-C hub for my MacBook Pro for years now, mainly to get footage off of my camera because it has a full-sized SD card in it, and that's exactly what you get with this USB-C hub. So this thing not only has a full-sized SD slot, it's got a micro SD slot, it's got a headphone jack, it's got two USB 3.0 ports. I had to check that they weren't 3.1 because it tells you on the bottom of it here. And then on the other side, you've got the Ethernet port, you've got another USB port, but this one's USB 2. Then you've got an HDMI port, a display port, and you've got a power USB-C and a regular USB-C that you can use for data. Now, the cool thing about this is I swapped it out with my HailCorporate and I used it to transfer footage. You don't need to power this thing to use it. If you want to use it as a full-on dock, you do need to power it. But if you just want to use it as a quick access, quick and dirty USB-C hub, you can use it just out of the box with the regular old USB-C cable. And I think that's great. So this thing, regardless, is living in my backpack forever. It also comes along with this little slot thing. I don't really know what to call it, but you'll notice that the sides of this thing, hopefully you can see that in the C angle, are grooved. And that's because it also comes along with this little carrier, little case type thing, little plastic case. And what you do is you just slide it in there, and then you have a little enclosure for it, and that allows it to connect to the modular case for the Steam Deck. So you want to have the dock attached to the actual device. There you go. And then for $39.99, you've got the M2 slot kit, which comes along again with the case. And then you also get this little M2 enclosure. Now, I haven't put an SSD in it, but I am going to take the SSD out of JSOX's SSD dock, slide it in here, and regardless, even if you don't use this with your Steam Deck, now that would make it an external USB 3.1 drive, which is fine for editing 4K video. I actually use a USB 3.2 Gen 2 drive to edit all of my videos, and it works totally fine. I've also ran my Steam library off of an older version that was USB 3.1, and it worked totally fine. So yeah, if you want some quick and easy external storage, this is another great option for you. The weird thing is this one came with a little Velcro sticker. So it's you Velcro it, I guess, to the back of the Modcase. Not the most elegant solution, but I guess it's a cool way to keep an external storage device connected to your Steam Deck. Of course, if you want to use it, it's going to take up the USB-C port on your Steam Deck, but you could pair it, I guess, with the docking station, right? Because you've got the USB-C port, you could plug the drive into there and then plug power into there, keep your thing charged while you're using this external storage. Regardless, this seems like just a cool external SSD at the end of the day, not exactly designed to work perfectly with the Steam Deck. And if you want to get all of this stuff together, the ultimate collection of JSOX Modcase and accessories, it's going to cost you $150. Unfortunately, right now, that's all sold out. But it's weird to see that they don't give you an option to buy this with an SSD like they do with the dock. Just kind of an interesting thing I'd point out. This video is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. We've all wanted to make our own video games before. My dream game would be an FPS set on Halloween. What if you had the knowledge and experience to make your own video games, but also turn it into a career with opportunities for growth? If that sounds exciting to you, let me tell you about Southern New Hampshire University, who is sponsoring this video. SNHU is one of the largest accredited nonprofit online degree programs in the country. And today I'm specifically talking about the game development program. In their program, you'll learn how to create realistic dynamic gameplay experiences, and those experiences will include game AI, game physics, 2D and 3D graphics, and interface design. You'll also learn computer programming languages like C++, C#, and Java. And you'll learn 3D modeling and texturing with game art software. You will learn how to research, develop, and contribute to advances and trends within the field of game programming, and courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience. SNHU is already affordable. Their tuition costs are some of the lowest in the nation. If you want to see the average annual salary for a programmer, head to snhu.edu/deckready, which is also linked down in the description, and there you can also request free information about the program. When you request information, they'll personally hop on a call with you and explain how this program can help you personally. Huge shout out to SNHU for sponsoring this video. Now over here we have the Dbrand Killswitch, which is the new version that will not mess with the magnets inside your Steam Deck. You can totally be feeling safe and protected using this case. So this comes in two variants. There's the Essential Kit and the Travel Kit. The Essential Kit is $60 and the Travel Kit is $75. The $60 version comes with the Killswitch case. It has a kickstand and a skin, and the Travel Kit has the Killswitch case, the kickstand, a skin, stick grips, and a travel cover for the case. And then for an extra $20, you can add on the screen protectors, which I have here, and those are actually already on my Steam Deck. And then finally, for an extra $8, you can add on the dock adapter kit. So on the surface, they're both really similar. They're taking Xbox 360 launch unit inspiration and being totally modular cases for your Steam Deck. They obviously just have different approaches in mind. Like Killswitch, going for more of an elegant, like tried and true, extremely hardcore tested sort of vibe. The JSOC side of the fence is like totally balls to the wall, baby. You can get any accessory you want, whether it's an SSD, a full-on dock solution, or a cooler for your Steam Deck. Whatever you want, it's gonna connect to your device. Dbrand, I think, has it a lot more simplified. There's only two versions. You can add on to those as you see fit. JSOCs, it's a little tricky. You get the case for 30 bucks and everything else is extra. So I guess the next section of this video should be seeing how both of these things work on the actual Steam Deck. That's why I have my Steam Deck right here. I'm gonna start out with the JSOCs version because I'm honestly curious how all of this stuff is going to attach, and if I am correct on it needing like a Velcro solution or something like that. And this is like a rare video where I actually haven't tried any of this stuff out beforehand. So you're getting my fresh unboxing of the JSOCs modular case. And the first thing we have in here is a weird smelling dock adapter. So as we have here with Dbrand, JSOCs has their own dock adapter because if you use either of these cases, they're not gonna work too well with the official Steam Deck dock since it's like machined to fit perfectly with your Steam Deck. So nice to know that JSOCs includes their own. I did open the Dbrand one, and the most obvious difference is the Dbrand one is hard plastic. This is more of like a soft rubber and it kind of smells bad. And then next up we have the JSOCs case itself, and weirdly enough it is also that soft sort of rubber that smells really bad. And as you can see here, we have the adapter already attached to the thing that has the kickstand built in, which is cool, and the grips are rubber, but the middle portion and the top are hard plastic. And then last but not least, we have the bracelet that comes along with this. They said it was metal, but it's not, it's rubber. It's like a rubber little bracelet thing. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. So I'm gonna take all this out, get rid of the box and the foam and everything, and let's get this thing attached to the Steam Deck. All right, so the way I got this on was I slid the Steam Deck into there, and then I kind of just like pulled this over the top, sort of like a glove. I'm sure it's a little bit hard to see in the C angle because everything is black, but it went on pretty easy and it feels like it's a pretty snug fit. The power button is accessible. Volume up, volume down, everything's accessible. The grip feels pretty good. The triggers are all accessible, as are the back buttons. I will say it is covering up the back buttons just a little bit here, which, you know, if you use those a lot, certain games I use them in, certain games I don't. That could be a little bit of a concession that you have to keep in mind, but overall the fit is pretty good. I'm gonna turn the Steam Deck off so the battery doesn't die on me here. And then we're gonna flip it over, and this little adapter thingy that I thought was an adapter actually is a kickstand, and it's a hard metal. It slides out nice and smooth. So if you're someone who likes using a controller with your Steam Deck, or you watch videos on it, or you need a stand that isn't the dock and you're on the go or something like that, this could be a cool attachment for you. And before I start messing with the other accessories, there is like a top portion here, and they give you a little instruction on how to apply it. You slide it on top first, and then it'll go over your sticks. And then yeah, it's a little protector for not only your triggers and your LB and RB, but also your sticks on your Steam Deck. And then if you want to get it off, you just pop it up from the bottom here. It comes right off, a little inelegant, but it gets the job done. All right, so the first accessory I want to try out is this little cooler. So it actually has like its own connector, which I'm assuming is for if you don't have the JSOX case. But to get this on, it's super simple. You just go to the center of the device and slide it down like this. And then it's connected to the case right there. Now, obviously, if you want to take it off, you just slide it off, comes off really easy. That's a cool design, kind of in line with what we're seeing from Dbrand and the Killswitch. And this has a battery in it, which is cool. So it's got this little like turn switch here. And if you turn it on, you have an extra cooling fan for your Steam Deck that I guess is blowing out at the top and getting rid of the hot air that comes out of your Steam Deck faster. Then if you want to turn it off, there you go. There's a USB-C port on the bottom, and I can see right here that there's a little LED, so if I was charging it, you would know if it's got battery or not. And then if you're done using the cooling fan, you just pop it off. Now I have seen that their replacement transparent back for the Steam Deck has a cooling pad on it, like a little piece of metal, and it did improve frame rates for the person who used it at The Verge by a couple, and it also improved temperature on the device. So while yes, this is just a fan, I could see this maybe improving the Steam Deck's temperature while you're playing, but again, it's only going to improve your frame rate by a couple FPS. Still a cool little attachment to have, and it just slides right on, which I think is awesome. Next, we're gonna try out the dock expander, which I feel like will go on this way with the USB ports going left, and then the headphone jack on the left too as well, and then everything else on the right. And just like with the fan and the cooling attachment, it slides right on, and I'm honestly shocked. This is pretty snug. I thought it wouldn't be very snug on here, but as you can see, we've got all the attachments immediately accessible, and we shall see right now, does the kickstand still work? Yes, it does. The angle kind of is horrible now with this thing holding it straight up, but you know, the kickstand still works with this little modular USB-C hub that connects to the back of your Steam Deck with the JSOX case. And then if you're done with it, just slides right off. You kind of have to give it a little bit of pressure though, which I don't know, that's not great. It's okay, I guess. But yeah, it comes off. And then here is the dock expansion. Boom, sits in there fine, looks great. Then you've got the bracelet, which I don't really understand what this is about. So at first glance, you're like, oh, does it turn your Steam Deck into a dual disc? Like, do you wear it like a watch and maybe like you can use the touchscreen or something like that? But no, it's a holder for a battery bank. So if you're using a battery bank like I am, or you get their version of the battery bank, you can then attach it to this little bracelet and hold it onto the back of your Steam Deck. Now that, honestly, that's kind of a cool attachment. I think that's pretty sweet because the way I use my battery bank is I keep it in my backpack. I use a 6-foot cable and wrap it around. But if you were playing it portably, you could keep the battery bank on the back of the device. My specific battery bank, the Anker one I use, I don't think would be very good for this, mainly because it's very long, but having the option here, especially considering JSOX makes their own battery bank, I think that's cool. So overall, there's some really interesting ideas here. Everything seems to fit pretty well on the Steam Deck. The cooling fan is a nice idea. Having this modular dock on the back is sweet. Having the bracelet, of course, for a power bank is cool as well. It seems like anything you want to connect to the Steam Deck or anything you would connect to the Steam Deck has a way to attach to this case. And I think that's a cool way to do things from JSOX. It's kind of like the way they do things. They're more kitchen sink approach with all of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my recommendation on which bundle to get, rather than the all-in get everything bundle, I would go with this USB-C hub version just because this hub is is great. It's nice aluminum. It's got all the ports you could want and more. And if you don't want to use it just for your Steam Deck, it works without power delivery, which I think is awesome. So even if you don't get the case, I'm giving my wholehearted recommendation to this USB-C hub. I think if you don't really need a dock for your Steam Deck, this would be the way to go. Just to be clear, I think all of this stuff is cool. That's just my favorite accessory in this entire package. My two negatives are that the attachment for the cooling fan, of course, sticks to the back of your device with like glue or whatever this is. I don't like that. I don't think anything should be like sticking to your Steam Deck because it could leave residue on there, and I wouldn't want to take Goo Gone to this thing. It could just eat away at the plastic or something like that. So that's my one negative. My second negative is the rubber kind of stinks. Like it literally smells, and also their dock adapter is rubber, whereas the other one is plastic. I get that they use rubber because it's softer and it's not going to damage the dock, which is cool. I just like, it feels cheap. All right, so that's the JSOX modular case out of the way. Let's check out the Dbrand Killswitch. Ooh, I will say, getting this off, I'm really always nervous about the bumpers because I've broken the bumpers on the Steam Deck twice, as you all know. Getting this off, it's a pretty snug fit. That's what I'm trying to say here. Getting this off the triggers, it's pushing in the triggers and the bumpers. So be very careful taking this off. All right, I'm gonna go smallest to biggest on this Dbrand situation here. First off, we have the dock adapter. Like I mentioned, this fits right in the dock, which unfortunately I don't have. It's a little plastic piece that's a good material for it. And then it also comes along with a USB-C adapter. The second thing we have here is the $20 screen protector kit. I like Dbrand screen protectors. I think just like quality wise, they are the best you can get. The difference is I ordered one on Amazon, a tempered glass screen protector, and it came with an awesome thing that goes over the top of your screen and makes it so you cannot screw up the placement of the screen protector. Dbrand's got to steal that, copy that, do what they got to do to include that, because that made putting on a screen protector so much easier than it is with something like this, which, as you can see, hopefully with all this plastic here, does not come with one of those like little guidance things to put around your screen. But for 20 bucks, you get a good value here, and I really do like Dbrand's quality. And they give you 2 glass screen protectors in case you screw up the first time. First off, gotta point out, didn't know this was in here, you've got 2 little skins for your Steam Deck. It's not a full skin that comes with it, it's just the front of the Steam Deck. So this goes on the right side, this goes on the left. As you'll notice, these are Nintendo Switch Joy-Con colors, just really going with that Killswitch theme. There is a full Steam Deck skin version of this that even has a blurred out Nintendo Switch logo for the back of your Steam Deck. It's pretty cool. My buddy Richard over at Fan the Deck helped them promote this, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's nice that they included it, but I will not be applying these to my Steam Deck. I don't like skins. And then inside the box here, we have the Killswitch, which, you know, like comparing them on the surface, the JSOX one with the cover, very similar to the Killswitch with the cover from Dbrand. Dbrand case has the kickstand attached and affixed to the case. As you can see, it's got a nice little viewing angle there. It's not metal, I think because they want to avoid the whole magnetism thing. They have a little sticker here that tells you how to remove the kickstand, which I appreciate. You turn it counterclockwise, pull it right off. They got like the nuclear symbol here, kinda. So you got the Dbrand logo on the inside. They've got a nice textured cloth sort of back, like a microfiber back, so your Steam Deck's not gonna get scratched up by the back of this case. And I'm gonna slide it on the same way I did with the JSOX one, being very careful not to hurt my triggers or bumpers here. So I'm gonna slide the triggers underneath it. It went on the same way as the JSOX one. I will say the clear difference here is that there's no button covers. So you've got protected buttons, which is nice. So if you dropped your Steam Deck right on top, not only are your bumpers protected, which is great because that's, again, the part I've broken on my Steam Deck twice now. The buttons are protected as well. You gotta get in there to get the power button. The volume up and down buttons are already raised, so they're not gonna be very hard to hit. Works out great. The headphone ports right there. Has the same issue with getting to the back buttons as the JSOX version. They're a little bit obscured because the case is raised, so you might have to get used to that if you use those. I like this sort of glossy plastic rubberized texture they've got on the left and right side of the thing. And we can try out the kickstand real quick, which I took off, which honestly, guys, I play this as a handheld. I don't ever watch content on here. I don't really use it in a kickstand format, but if this is something you're after because you use the Nintendo Switch like this, now you know that it works totally fine. But this case is not complete just yet, because as we have in the box right here, 2 little stick covers for the Steam Deck. Got to get ultimate protection here for our Steam Deck. Oh God, I don't want to put this on the stick. You know, I hate doing stuff like this. I don't want to break anything, but I will say it went on very easily. Not something I'm a huge fan of, but I know these things are pretty popular for the Nintendo Switch. The Steam Deck has full-size joysticks though, so like it doesn't have the Joy-Con issue where the little sticks are too short and too small. So if you want stick covers, I'm gonna call these an unnecessary add-on, but the quality's good. They're grippy like the edges of the Steam Deck sticks already are, but all the way around. You're gonna get a lot more grip with these and a little bit more height out of your stick. So if you're playing a lot of Doom Eternal, maybe this would be good for you. This is like the added extra mile of protection, and it's got a cool attachment with the kickstand. I'm curious what attachments Dbrand's gonna come out with for this thing, because obviously JSOX out the gate has stuff like this SSD attachment. They've got the like USB hub that is also a dock. They have this cooling fan. They've got the bracelet that holds your power bank. They have the power bank. Like JSOX just goes buck wild with all this, like from go. Whereas Dbrand is taking the more reserved approach and making sure that it's not gonna destroy your device inside out, which I'm not accusing JSOX of anything. I just think their goal is more to be first to the market with this stuff, whereas Dbrand wants to get it right. Obviously, Dbrand screwed up the first time with the kill switch. It looks like they figured out the issue here by making this thing entirely plastic. The mechanism, I will say, on the kill switch, much better than the slide lock version that you have on the JSOX case. Overall, this one just feels a lot more premium to me, and you can make the case that it's 2 times the price, but for 2 times the price, it does feel like you're getting 2 times the actual build quality here. Like this one feels like it was machined and perfectly fitted to the Steam Deck, whereas the JSOX one has a little bit more room around it. And yeah, they both go on the exact same, but overall, I'd personally say, unless you need this USB-C hub, unless you really want the cooling solution, unless you really want the SSD attachment, go with the Dbrand version. I think it's a little bit more premium and it's worth a little bit of a markup. As far as skins go, I don't really like skins. I also am not a huge Dbrand guy. I don't buy a lot of stuff from them, so I'm pretty safe for once saying that this is unbiased. Like honestly, I'd be more likely to go with the JSOX version if I was feeling biased here, because I have literally every accessory they've made for the Steam Deck so far. And I have like nothing from Dbrand, and the screen protector I have isn't from them. So yeah, I'll have all of these accessories linked down in the description. Let me know which one you decide to go with, but the real recommendation here, guys, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it is this. Get this USB-C hub. I am in love with this thing. The matte black look, the like extra ports that you don't get on the Steam Deck dock. This might be the very best accessory JSOX has made since they made this little L connector for the USB-C cord that connects to your Steam Deck. So there you go, guys. This is how you build the ultimate Steam Deck. You go with Dbrand, you go with JSOX. Hopefully whichever case you choose suits your needs.